You're looking for the most awkward, offbeat, dark comedy of this year? It's gonna be this one. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new movie review. Today we're discussing Miranda July's brand new film this week, KAJILLIONAIRE, coming into theaters this weekend. And of course, it tells the story of a family of con artists who live in an upside-down life. But when the parents of the family invite an outsider to join them on a major heist, their daughter might be led to a new part of her life that will truly shake her life up forever. This film stars the likes of Evan Rachel Wood, Gina Rodriguez, Debra Winger, and Richard Jenkins. This is one of my most anticipated films going back into Sundance. I got to see it at Sundance earlier this year. Now it's finally coming out for many of you guys to come in and enjoy. So I do need to hear your guys' thoughts on this film. So make sure to leave a comment if you guys have seen it. If you're not, are you looking forward to it? Let's discuss it all down there, as well as hitting that like and subscribe button, because it does help me out and it helps you guys out because you get tons of movie content like this over here on a daily basis. KAJILLIONAIRE is one of my favorite films of this year, and especially going back and seeing it at Sundance, it was one of my favorite films from there. Miranda July has a way of directing and writing that is unlike many other directors, and in this offbeat crime drama, this is a very much simple film that is super awkward but works in so many different realms and societal efforts that I absolutely love, because again, these con artists are not the typical con artists that you would see in, say, Ocean's 8 or Ocean's 11, or even going down into being crime bosses in, say, The Godfather. They are not this. They are the scum of the earth. They are the bottom layer of the ground, just trying to screw over tons of businesses and organizations and all stuff like that. But seeing it from that perspective and having to look at our protagonists here, Evan Rachel Wood, is absolutely really stunning to see what we can see as her as a character, and especially her interactions, especially when this new outsider comes into play. That outsider is played by Gina Rodriguez, who I've been waiting for to get a role like this for quite a while. You know, I liked her in Jane the Virgin. She was good, but in general, all of her other performances and really much overall, the movies that she has been in have not been successful. They haven't been great. But I think this here is finally the role that pushes her into the forefront and says, I can give a damn good performance, and Gina Rodriguez is absolutely outstanding here. I loved her in here, and she is absolutely phenomenal in here. Her and Evan Rachel Wood are both phenomenal in here, giving excellent performances in this year and really centered down into such a beautiful and touching tones as well. The ending of this film, I loved, especially with both of them. What a beautiful performance that we got to see inside here. And again, that ending of this film is probably one of my favorite endings so far to a film this year. I really loved seeing how we were able to see where everything kind of goes about and how it plays off into the finale of this repetitive nature that we truly see throughout the entire runtime of this film. Of course, these two performances truly become the two feasts throughout this movie. Yes, the performances are nothing short of incredibly awkward, especially Evan Rachel Wood, but in the best of ways. This is a sheltered woman who has grown up only knowing one aspect of life, which is stealing, and paired on course with her new outsider who joins the family, Gina Rodriguez, moves on to the scene, and again, in something that I've never seen before, and again, I'm so happy to see her be in a role like this. The caliber of these performances elevate the script here from Miranda July, which again, the script doesn't always make sense. It doesn't really hinder you to where things are going, and again, the story is actually very unpredictable, which was great to see nonetheless. What this story sets up is two different ideals and ideologies of what family values are supposed to be, and it's performed so well through many of the different sequences that you were able to really elevate yourself and really be brought into what is going on between these two. This is actually what traverses the film to that next level that by the time it ended, while I loved the ending, I was sitting there going, please don't end. Please don't end, because I just love this film so much. My God, just talking about again that ending, but also just in general the third act. There is one scene in particular that takes place in a completely dark room that I don't know how it was pulled off, but it's one of my favorite moments in film in probably this whole entire year. I was really just taken back by that beautiful, touching, but absolutely extravagant moment. The amount of clamor that I heard at Sundance around from everyone else when we were watching the scene was absolutely just stupefied to be perfect. A moment that will actually be ingrained in your memory for quite a while, especially since I've seen like 115 films already this year. It's still been one of the ones that have been stuck inside my head every time I think back on some of my favorite moments from 2020. Honestly, when it comes to KAJILLIONAIRE, I think this is just going to come down to you as a personal preference. Do you like these awkward, weird films that are not going to be for everyone? everyone, or are you kind of one of the ones that are a little bit more mainstream and you already know this isn't going to be your cup of tea? Because that's really what it comes down to. Kajillionaire is not going to be for everyone, and it's going to be a diverse film, I actually really think, especially when it comes to the general movie-going audience. But for me, it was one that I absolutely fell in love with because of the parallels, because of the performances, and absolutely just everything centered around it. Kajillionaire might be paced awkwardly, while also not being for everyone. It is a film like this that I love watching and having a discussion with every single other person that gets to watch this film. It's so weird, it's incredibly awkward, but most importantly, it is unique. Unique can be bad, but in this case, it's absolutely touching and beautiful. Once again, Evan Rachel Wood kills this performance, and of course Gina Rodriguez just comes into the forefront in such a charismatic way that parallels them both in such a great way. There are two moments in here in particular, the ending and one thing leading into the third act, that is absolutely amazing, and I loved what everything happened within them. And really the whole entire cast in here is great. Miranda July's directing and writing here is absolutely top tier notch. This film wasn't on your radar yet, it definitely should be now. So with all that said, I'm gonna give Kajillionaire an A-. Thank you guys again so much for clicking on this, because they're seriously all the best. I hope you guys do enjoy this review. Make sure to head on over to Sandwich Films on how to see films early, and of course it's a big thing to you and a big thing to my Patreon supporters, because without you I wouldn't be able to do this. Thank you guys again, and of course until next time, stay classy.